hipon, sugpo, swahe, vaname, shrimp. Mga pagkaing tiyak na pagka narinig ay siguradong matatakam ang karamihan sa atin. Ang mga ito ay kabilang sa mga pinaka-importanting aquaculture commodities sa Pilipinas. Hindi lamang dahil sa ito ay mabenta sa mga Pilipino, kundi dahil sa magandang presyo nito sa lokal at pandaigdigang merkado. Ito marahil ang kadahilanan kung kaya't isa ito sa mga pangunahing prioridad ng Kawanihan ng Pangisdaan at Yamang Tubig o DAB-FAR. Kada ikalawang taon, ang mga iba't ibang mga stakeholders mula sa iba't ibang parte ng ating bansa ay nagtitipon-tipon upang mapag-usapan ang mga paraan upang mayangat ang industriya ng hipon sa Pilipinas. Ngayong taon, isinagawa ang 13th Philippine Shrimp Congress na ginanap sa pamamagitan ng isang virtual conference kung saan higit kumulang 1,000 mga kinatawan ang dumalo. Ang tema ngayong taon ay Philippine Shrimp Farming, its paradigm shift to the new normal. Isang temang naglalayong ihanda at isaayos ang industriya sa panahon ng pandemya upang masiguro ang isang matatag at masaganang industriya ng hipon sa ating bansa. Ang nasabing kaganapan ay dinaluhan ng mga hatchery operators, suppliers, growers, processors at ng mga kinatawan mula sa iba't ibang sangay ng pamahalaan. Binuksan ang plenaryo ng ating mga pangunahing pandangal na pinangunahan ni Senador Cynthia Villar.
And shift toward the sustainable new normal is very appropriate as we try to recover from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and move towards better ways to improve our fisheries industry and in particular the shrimp industry for food security. The shrimp aquaculture industry in the Philippines is continuously growing. The industry gives the country huge income, provides jobs to the people, and secures food supply to the people. Even during the pandemic and in face of disruption in the supply chain, it continues to thrive. The country's annual average shrimp and prawn production is pegged at 60,000 metric tons, which accounts for 2.65% of the total aquaculture production. In 2018, shrimp was one of the major fishery exports, with the Philippines exporting more than 7,000 metric tons valued at 2.43 billion. The global shrimp market size was valued at 1.58 trillion in 2019 and is estimated to reach 2.73 trillion by 2027, projected a growth rate of 9.2% from 2021 to 2027. The growth in recent year brought about by good domestic demand for the commodity, but it is highly dependent upon other sectors. This can only be achieved when the stakeholders talk to each other, draft their suggestion to government, and for the people in BFAR to listen, analyze, and synthesize this recommendation for the benefit of the industry as a whole.
Galak naman na ibinalita ng direktor ng BFAR ang mga tagumpay na natamasa ng sektor ng hipon sa mga nagdaang taon.
It is with great honor to present to you some of the major accomplishments of the shrimp industry in this year's Congress. We note that these milestones have resulted from the strong partnership between the government, the members of the industry, and other concerned stakeholders. Shrimp, being one of the major commodities in fisheries, made our country the 4th top producer of shrimp in Southeast Asia and 8th in the world. The fisheries industry is moving towards aquaculture. The annual average growth rate from year 2000 to 2020 of shrimp is positive 2.4%. The DAB-FAR continue to provide interventions for the shrimp industry through provisions of technical assistance, post-larval distribution, establishment of shrimp school, monitoring and surveillance to prevent occurrence of diseases, massive education and information campaign through information, education and communication and publications, and other assistance for the improvement of the sector. And recently, the DAB-FAR completed the shrimp hatchery and broodstock development center at Bongabong, Mindoro Oriental.
Nagbigay naman ng mensahe ng suporta sa ngalan ng DA si Yusek Cheryl Barry Natividad Caballero.
Allow me to take cognizance of the importance of this Philippine Shrimp Congress. The 13th Shrimp Industry Congress with the theme Philippine Shrimp Farming, its paradigm shift to the new normal, is one important platform to bring in all the stakeholders together via virtual meetings. The Congress aims to gather all stakeholders in all segments of the shrimp industry to work together to make a successful shrimp industry in the country. It also features important areas in terms of bringing in technological innovations to increase production and business matching for better market linkages. We take cognizance also of the economic contribution of the shrimp industry as one of the major commodities in the country, next to bangus, shellfish, and tilapia, to the participation of the registered hatcheries, which has totaled to 93, including the larval rearing facilities in the country, which are very important sources of your shrimp for grow out. We also have 1,812 registered and accredited grow out farms and 37 processors and 7 traders. So this is an important starting point to ensure that the participation of these stakeholders are properly noted and supported by the Department of Agriculture through the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. The agro-industrialization of the shrimp industry is one of the important areas that the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources is now working on. We look at connecting these vital stages of pre-production, production, post-harvest, and processing to market connectivity. The Department of Agriculture's mechanism to pump prime the strategy in terms of supporting the development of agro-industrial business corridors as a platform to engage stakeholders and solicit strong private sector investments in key development areas to achieve masaganang ani at mataas na kita. ABCs are specially defined growth corridors that connects vital infrastructure, government investments, and private sector-led enterprises towards a more efficient and diverse agriculture and fisheries value chain. So, corollary to this, it now requires support to strategic investments in the following areas. This will help our partners, particularly the private sector, to have a supporting mechanism in developing their businesses relative to their ability to connect to the value chain. We also are now in the final stage of drafting the shrimp industry roadmap and value chain and market assessment. So these are important information that will serve the needs of the industry, and we look forward to more engagements and participation of our private sector partners, as well as also the inclusion of our cooperatives and associations that may want to engage in this thriving business. Lastly, we would like to extend our support to this Congress, as well as to look forward to a more dynamic engagement with the stakeholders to ensure a food secure and empowered fisherfolk and farmers in the program under the agro-industrialization development headed by the championed by the Department of Agriculture.
Sinundan naman ito ng iba't ibang mga online seminars kung saan tinalakay ang mga iba't ibang mga paksa na may malaking importansya sa ikalalago ng industriya ng hipon sa lokal at maging sa pandaigdigang merkado. Binuksan din ang plenaryo upang matalakay ang mga iba't ibang mga issue at suwestyon upang maipaabot sa kinakaukulan ang mga iba't ibang mga suportang kinakailangan ng industriya upang makapaghabi at makagawa ng mga hakbangin upang masiguro ang pag-angat at pagpapatibay ng industriya ng hipon sa ating bansa. Sa ikahuling araw naman ay pinaunlakan ng kalihim ng Kagawaran ng Agrikultura ang 13th Philippine Shrimp Congress sa pamamagitan ng pagbigay ng closing remarks na sinundan naman ng mensahe ng pasasalamat mula sa Congress Chairman na si Ginoong Norbert Ching Coangco.
While this past year has been difficult, even painful for all of us, the pandemic has brought on a global situation that is ripe with possibilities. The global market for shrimp is growing. The 1DA reform agenda's roadmap for the shrimp industry requires action on several fronts. These actions cover everything from developing new technologies to training to research and the construction of hatcheries. The many insightful viewpoints that we have heard today will make an excellent contribution to our plans as we pursue our shared goal, finding the most effective ways to strengthen the country's shrimp industry and promote long-term prosperity. This paradigm shapes a closer partnership between the public and private sectors, a partnership premised on the competitiveness of small and medium-scale shrimp operations. We must nurture that approach, but we must also handle it carefully. To achieve positive results, we must pursue an aggressive program for private sector participation. The government's role in this partnership is simple. We formulate with you and carry out policies to develop human capital, better production and processing methods, corporate governance, technology, and infrastructure. The private sector's objectives are more complex and involved, but the government does perform a function in their achievement. I'm hopeful that today's proceedings will mark the start of greater cooperation and serious dialogue between the Philippine government and the national shrimp industry, small and medium businesses.
The shrimp industry has always shown its ability to adapt and reinvent itself to survive and grow further. We believe we have fruitfully covered some concern about our beautiful industry, our social and environmental impact, efficiency in hatchery and nursery operations, better health management, new nutrition and market opportunities. In behalf of DA, BFAR and Phil Shrimp, we would like to thank everyone who participated. Thank you. You are inspiration for all of us. One thing is clear, virtual or face-to-face, together we can make things happen. Not only to survive, but to grow. Not only to feed, but to nurture. This is not just a closure, but a beginning. Mabuhay ang industriya ng Pilipinas.